I want to extend a thank you to Very Reverend Father Jahad Shekian and Very Reverend Father Pakrad Barjikian for being here and for your healing and optimistic prayers for this house. I would also like to thank the Scouts from Minutemen Santa Clara Ani chapter for being with us today. So why does California commemorate the Armenian Genocide, and why is SR 29 necessary? Because it's right, just, appropriate, because of our large and vibrant Armenian American communities throughout California who are descendants, survivors of the genocide, to share the historic and local pride of our Armenian friends and neighbors so that Washington takes note and Turkey takes responsibility? Certainly. But we must also remember that with each statement we make, there is and was an often tragic human story that needs to be remembered. We must always remember, Misht Ishel, Mist Ishel. Here's just one of the many stories. Historian Dr. Rubina Perumian shares the account of Nargis Shamkochian, a survivor of the Armenian Genocide. Nargis, like many other survivors, was haunted by her memory of the horrific and unspeakable crimes committed by the Ottoman Turks. Nargis recalls frightened as a 9-year-old crawling away from the pile of naked, dead children on the hot desert sand. Suddenly, her brother Hagop placed his hand on her shoulder, reaching for a desperate last hope. But a terrified Nargis threw Hagop's hand off and began running away. Nargis would never stop feeling the shame and guilt of abandoning her brother. This nightmare and traumatic experience would replay in her mind and haunt her for the rest of her life. Next Monday, April 24th, marks the 102nd anniversary of the first genocide of the 20th century, the Armenian Genocide, Medz Yergen. The Armenian people were subjected to a systematic and premeditated genocide beginning on April 24th, 1915, at the hands of the Young Turks and the Kemalist movement of Turkey. By 1923, over 1.5 million Armenians were persecuted and massacred by the Armenian Turks. The Turks tried to annihilate the Armenian nation in what is one of the most atrocious violations of human rights in history. President Woodrow Wilson and the United States State Department called for the establishment of the Near East Relief in response to this genocide, creating a significant humanitarian effort which America can take pride in. Through this organization, the United States provided compassionate assistance to Armenia and rescued thousands of orphans and Christian minorities from annihilation. While the Ottoman Turks hoped to succeed in destruction of the Armenian nation by committing this crime against humanity, Armenians survived, and many returning to their homeland, others establishing roots in the diaspora. California being the home to the largest Armenian American population in the United States. For the past century, Turkey has actively campaigned for Armenian genocide denial, maintaining its seizure and control of Western Armenia, and working to silence Armenians and non-Armenians residing in Turkey who speak the truth about the genocide. While in Artsakh, ethnic Armenians live with the imminent danger of Azeri tanks and the constant threat of war. Even in our state capital, there have been efforts to rewrite history and absolve many of their rightful responsibility. This denial denies many Californians a just and rightful peace. In addition to genocide denial, religious discrimination and intolerance remain serious issues in the current Republic of Turkey. Discriminatory laws are used to justify the confiscation of church property and prevent free worship. I join with many historians who believe that historical Armenian churches represent the cultural heritage of the Armenian nation and should be returned to their rightful owners to be cherished and used for appropriate religious purposes. I am proud to represent a large number of Armenians in the diaspora who have enriched our state through their leadership, social, business, and educational contributions, and right here in the state Senate, too. Many of the families of friends and constituents have expressed firsthand the horrors of the genocide and its denial for over a century. Undue denial haunts genocide survivors like Nargis, mentioned above, and many, many others. It prevents good people from healing. Clearly, recognition is appropriate, long overdue, and without it allows the passion and pain to continue and to be present unnecessarily. SR 29 is a small step in the journey to healing and fulfills Californians' human rights commitment and responsibility. It designates the month of April for commemoration of the Armenian genocide and urges the President and Congress to join California in recognizing the atrocities of 1915 constituted genocide against the Armenian people. This resolution will also call on the Republic of Turkey to return confiscated private and church properties to their rightful owners and congregations, and to end all forms of ethnic and religious discrimination and persecution. Armenians, both in our great state and throughout the world, continue to thrive as they demand justice for the crimes committed by the Ottoman Turks in 1915. This brings to mind the famous Armenian-American writer William Soroyan's powerful words, Ak soretsek irens duneren, tebi anabatnera, tzat ketsek, arants hatsiev, chori iretsek, anons duneran u yegeretsi nera, desekte anank ichbes, bidi veratsnin, Desekte anank inchbes gergin bidi hangtang. This translated in English reads, send them to the deserts, don't give them food or water, burn their homes and churches, see how they will live again, see how they will laugh again. Soroyan's words relate to the resiliency of the American people both in our homeland and the California diaspora. This important characteristic of the Armenian people's resiliency exemplifies our responsibility to continue our work to ensure that every individual is aware of not only the Armenian genocide, but of all genocides. I respectfully ask that you join me and stand up against the atrocious acts and violence committed during the Armenian genocide by voting yes on SR 29. Thank you.